All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all honor, glory, and praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakon Kadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace, love, and salutation to the hopefully elect. All right, it's the brother Azariah here with the Pittsburgh GMS camp. And I just wanted to go into this topic real quick because at camp this past Saturday, we was going into some particular scriptures that I had come across and just a couple of links, the way it was linking up in my mind, and we went into it briefly. And I just want to, I just felt like it would be an edifying lesson, A, through the Spirit, may this be edifying. Call halal Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai Ba'ashem Rakon Kadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of the Great Millstone. Peace, love, and salutation to the hopefully elect once again. Had to make sure I said that intro, All right, so I'm gonna start at Proverbs 5, and I'm gonna start at this whole thing is beautiful, you know what I'm saying? I guess I can start at verse 1. The point I want to get to is down in 10 through 15, but just to get context, and break it down even more. Proverbs 5:1, my son, attend unto my wisdom and bow thine ear to mine understanding, that thou mayest regard discretion and that thy lips may keep knowledge, and that's beautiful, because that's tying right in with another precept that I'm about to go into in John 7:38. He that believeth on me, as the scripture have said, out of his belly shall flow rivers of living water. And that living water is the disbursement of these scriptures, and the scriptures here say right here, matter of fact, another precept just popped in my mind. I'm gonna read this and I'm gonna get it. Proverbs 5:1, my son, attend unto my wisdom and bow thine ear to mine understanding, that thou mayest regard discretion and that thy lips may keep knowledge. So when you bow down your ear to the Most High's understanding, and when you attend unto his wisdom, he begins to especially when you begin to keep his commandments, he gives you more utterance, he gives you more understanding. Let's see here, and I'm gonna just get it. All right, Salakia. Wish I knew where these things were. So Psalms 110, 111, and 10. I don't want to write this out. I'll pick up on the location of this stuff. Psalms 111 and 10. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. A good understanding have all they that do his commandments. His praise endure forever. So a good understanding have all they that do his commandments. And this is also speaking of wisdom, like I was just speaking of. Attend unto my wisdom and bow thine ear to my understanding, that thou mayest regard discretion and that thy lips may keep knowledge. So like the scripture told you in Psalms 110 and 10, a good understanding have all they that do his commandments. His praise endure forever. So like we was reading here, that thy lips may keep knowledge. So verse 3, for the lips of a strange woman drop as in honeycomb, and her mouth is smoother than oil. And this is talking about other philosophies, other doctrines, other religions. They are very enticing, and the flesh, which desires to do wickedness at all time, the flesh wants to lean towards these things. It sounds good to the flesh. It sounds pleasing to the ear. It's sweet like a honeycomb, and the mouth is smoother than oil. Verse 4, but her end is bitter as wormwood, sharp as a two-edged sword. Verse, it's bitter, man. Bitterness, is the end, because it leads to death. It leads to the realization that you was wrong, desperately wrong, gravely wrong, because being a Muslim, being in these different philosophies outside of the true doctrine of Yahweh Shai is not going to get you nowhere, man, except for a perpetual shame, man. You're going to have shame for a long time, as the scriptures tell us. I believe, what's that? Daniel 12, Let's just get it. Daniel 12 and 12, which I may need to go. No, I'm going to go straight onto that. And Daniel 12 and 2. And many of them that sleep in the dust of the earth shall awake, some to everlasting life, and some to shame and everlasting contempt. And this is talking about after the destruction, After the destruction, and those who, when you Jakes come back in the kingdom, the 2/3 of the nation of Israel that has to be destroyed on this side, as the scripture saith. When you come back into the kingdom, you're going to have a long period of shame and contempt because you denied the words of the Most High. So let's continue with the lesson. Proverbs 5:5. Her feet go down to death. Her steps take hold on hell, which is the grave. In most instances, it's talking about the grave. Hell is Sha'awal or Sheol, and pronounced in Yiddish. And in that situation, it means the grave, but it can also mean a condition. Hell can also be a condition of like a stressful condition. Okay, like the ghetto. That's hell. That's hell on earth. Jake live in hell. Okay, especially in these bad ghettos. All right, verse 6. Lest thou shouldest ponder the path of life, her ways are movable, that thou canst not know them. Now, this is twofold because, there's like a woman. Most women are subject to change. Most women are wishy-washy and, their ways are not knowable. You cannot predict how a lot of these women will react to certain stuff. But at the same time, this is talking about religions first and foremost. Like, I'll give you a good example, like Farrakhan, how 1 minute he'll say, "Oh, we the Israelites," but the next minute they'll call on Allah. And 1 minute Jacob is your so-called blacks in particular, and then and Esau's the Edomites. Then the next minute he's free flippity flopped it, and we're the Edomites, and Jacob is the so-called white people. So the ways are not movable, or the ways are movable of these religions, that you cannot know them. Some Muslims are violent and some are not, and it's just too much confusion, and there's just no truth in it. Anyway, verse 7. Hear me now, therefore, O ye children, and depart not from the words of my mouth. Remove thy way far from her, these other philosophies, and come not nigh the door of her house, lest thou give thine honor unto others, and thy years unto the cruel. Now we're beginning to go into one of the things that I was thinking about when I started reading these scriptures, because I spoke on it at camp. You'll go your whole life being a devout Muslim, praying 3-4 times a day, doing that little fast thing that they have where what is it, Ramadan or whatever it is, because I know people on my, little different social medias that do this shit. They'll go pray to Allah and go on a fast all day, and then, which Allah just means power, but they'll go on a fast and then they'll break their fast and they'll go eat some shrimp, or they'll go eat some abomination food, what I'm saying? Maybe even pork, but besides the point, they worshiping Ishmaelite religion. So they're giving their honor unto the Ishmaelites and their years unto the crew, because the Ishmaelites had us in a captivity, man. Anyway, let me continue. Lest thou give thine honor unto others and thy years unto the crew. You spend your whole life giving your years unto your oppressors, man. Worshiping their religion. Even you Christians, man, worshiping white Jesus, man. Caesar Borgia. Which the Messiah's name is not Jesus, it's Yahweh. But you'll give your lives unto the cruel, man, unto the religion of the oppressor, man. Great Jewish Christianity, Verse 10, lest strangers be filled with thy wealth, giving your tithes and offering in these churches and, other religions, and thy labors be in the house of a stranger. You sitting out here trying to convert people to come to Jesus Christ. Yo, come to Caesar Borgia. Come to a false religion. You literally have people who everywhere they go, they're trying to spread the word of Jesus Christ. That false deity, Serapis Christus. Caesar Borgia. So they're trying to spread. They trying to, their labors are in the house of a stranger at that particular point. Verse 11, and thou mournest the last when thy flesh and thy body are consumed. What is going to consume their flesh and body? Nuclear destruction, man. So you're going to mourn when you find out that, damn, I was wrong. Damn. Then shall they know that a prophet was among them. It's going to be too late, though. Verse 12, and say, how have I hated instruction, and my heart despised reproof, and have not obeyed the voice of my teachers, nor inclined my ear to them that instructed me. I was almost in all evil in the midst of the congregation and assembly. So now let's get this other precept I want to bring out. I already read this. Well, I'm going to keep that open still. Proverbs 1:20. Wisdom crieth without. She uttereth her voice in the streets. And this is what the prophets do on the highways and byways, week in and week out, on different days of the week, because brother, schedules vary. Here in Pittsburgh, we go out on Saturday, you know. So wisdom crieth without from these brothers out here preaching on the street corners, man. She crieth in the chief place of concourse, in the opening of the gates. In the city she uttereth her words, saying, how long, ye simple ones, will ye love simplicity? And the scorners delight in their scorning, and fools hate knowledge. So what did it say? And thou shalt mourn at the last when thy flesh and thy body are consumed, and say, how have I hated instruction, and my heart despised reproof. Proverbs 1:21. She crieth in the chief place of concourse, in the openings of the gates. In the city she uttereth her words, saying, how long, ye simple ones, will ye love simplicity? And the scorners delight in their scorning, and fools hate knowledge. Turn ye at my reproof. Behold, I will pour out my spirit unto you. I will make known my words unto you. And say, how have I, Proverbs 5:12, and say, how have I hated instruction, and my heart despised reproof. See? And have not obeyed the voice of my teachers, nor inclined my ear to them that instructed me, because the Most High sets up men to go out and be his mouthpiece. You know, and let's just get a quick scripture on that. Jeremiah 5:14. Wherefore thus saith Yahweh, power of hosts, because ye speak this word, behold, I will make my words in thy mouth fire, and this people wood, and it shall devour them. You see? So hey, the Most High puts his word into to his prophets, man, and they become his mouthpiece, you know. All right. So let's see here. That's pretty much why I wanted to get on that. You know, they hate knowledge, man. They just, and it says it again in Proverbs 1:30. They would none of my counsel. They despise all of my reproof. You know. So let's get Proverbs 5 again. And now I'm going to skip to verse 15. Well, I'm going to read on to verse 15. Drink waters out of thine own cistern, and running waters out of thine own well. You know, so this is letting you know, hey, just like I just read in Proverbs, in John 7:38, he that believeth on me, as the scripture hath said, out of his belly shall flow rivers of living water, which I believe I read this already. But the point is, that's what you're getting when you're drinking out of your own well and cistern. You're drinking of the knowledge and understanding of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai that's being dispersed in the streets. And it's going to continue to say that. Verse 16, let thy fountains be dispersed abroad, and rivers of waters in the streets. John 7:38, he that believeth on me, as the scripture hath said, out of his belly shall flow rivers of living water. See? So when you read Proverbs 5, drink waters out of thine own cistern, and running waters out of thine own well, that's the knowledge and understanding of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, according to the truth. Because he that believeth on me, as the scripture saith, from his belly shall flow rivers of living water. So that's the truth, because you have to believe. In order to have that utterance, you have to believe on Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, as the scriptures say. See, now this is a cut right here that I want to get into. Verse 17, let them be only thine own, and not strangers with thee. That means this ain't for people outside of the nation of Israel. See? And then it continues on just to show you that woman that is speaking about earlier is actually speaking about wisdom. Verse 18, let thy fountain be blessed, and rejoice with the wife of thy youth. See, so that woman, that the wife of your youth, when we was a young nation, we received the law, statutes, and commandments. You know, that's the wife of our youth. You know. And also, we'll get some more on it. Verse 19, let her be as the loving hind and pleasant roe. Salakia, let her breast satisfy thee at all times, and be thou ravished always with her love. And why wilt thou, my son, be ravished with a strange woman, with a strange doctrine or religion outside of being your heritage, these laws, statutes, and commandments, and being a Hebrew Israelite, and embrace the bosom of a stranger? For the ways of man are before the eyes of Yahweh, and he pondereth all his goings. Verse 22, his own iniquity shall take the wicked himself, and he shall be holden with the cords of his sins. He shall die without instruction, and in the greatness of his folly he shall go astray. So the point is, man, you can cling on to them other religions all you want, but they're gonna kill you. That's what this, scripture is telling you. But I was just trying to link together some of these, these different precepts. Lord's will. This is edifying. I'm gonna just see if there's any more on this. I guess I can just read some more on this, and I'll probably wrap it up here soon. Let the Spirit bring something else out. Proverbs 1 and 23. Turn ye at my reproof. Behold, I will pour out my spirit unto you. I will make known unto you my words unto you. Because I have called and ye refused, I have stretched out mine hand, and no man regarded. And when they see us out there on the highways and byways preaching, Jake be looking at us like, hey man, what is these niggas doing out here, man? They don't pay it no mind. They don't regard it. They refuse. Verse 25, but ye have set at naught all my counsel. So you counted the counsel that the Most High has uttered at the men of the Lord. He has put his words into our mouth to be on the highways and byways preaching to you. You set that at nothing. You said, man, they ain't talking about nothing. You see? And would none of my reproof. You didn't want to take none of the correction that the Most High was trying to give you through the mouth of his men. Verse 26, I also will laugh at your calamity. I will mock when your fear cometh, because they do laugh and mock at the men of the Lord out there speaking the words of the Most High. They laugh and they mock. And the Most High said, guess what? I'm going to laugh at you. I'm going to mock at you. And he's going to put the Spirit on his men to laugh at you and mock at you as well. Verse 27, when your fear cometh as desolation, and your destruction cometh as a whirlwind, when distress and anguish cometh upon you, then shall they call upon me, but I will not answer. It's going to be too late. What they say the name of the Lord was? Yahweh. What is it again? It's going to be too late to try to get it in. They shall seek me early, but shall not find me. Especially you IUIC cats, man. All that stuff that the Most High has been revealing on y'all. And I've seen these videos when you talking about you can call them play yogurt. The Most High ain't going to let you know what his name is when the time of trouble come, man. Or he might just reserve you. Like that brother had that one dream where he said IUIC made it on the ship and they was rejoicing, talking about somebody told you so. Then they got took in the back room and they got real quiet. And then they probably got zapped. You see? So who knows what the Most High got set up for them niggas, man? All the wickedness they doing. Verse 28, then shall they call upon me, but I will not answer. They shall seek me early, but they shall not find me. For that they hated knowledge and did not choose the fear of the Lord Yahweh. They would none of my counsel. They despised all of my reproof. Therefore they shall eat of the fruit of their own way and be filled with their own devices. And at this point, I'm just reading them, the rest of these scriptures, and I'll probably end it after these last two. For the turning away of the simple shall slay them, and the prosperity of fools shall destroy them. So the turning away of the simple. So when I read the scripture, the picture that comes to mind is a simple nigga. Like it just said it up here, didn't it? How long ye simple ones will ye love simplicity, and the scorners delight in their scorning, and fools hate knowledge. Turn ye at my reproof. I will pour out my spirit unto you. I will make known my words unto you. Verse 24, but I have called and ye refused. I have stretched out my hand and no man regarded. So when it talks about right here, the turning away of the simple shall slay them. This is the simple hearing the words and knowledge of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai and turning their back on it. The turning away of the simple. They turn their back. Man, I ain't trying to hear that, man. I'm going to walk up the street somewhere. What is these niggas? What the niggas say? Man, I'm gone, man. Turning away of the simple, because you simple as hell and you can't get it. So you walk away. That's going to slay you. And the prosperity of fools shall destroy them. And a foolish person who puts they whole importance in money, that prosperity that you're getting, that's gonna destroy you. But whoso hearkeneth unto me shall dwell safely, and shall be quiet from the fear of evil. So them who actually listen is going to dwell safely. Them who actually listen and obey are going to dwell safely. And they shall be quiet from fear of evil. They ain't going to be scared of evil, man. They ain't going to be, they're going to understand what's happening. And they may be afraid to a degree, but they're going to have faith in Yahweh Hashem Yahushai that they'll be protected. So once again, I hope this was edifying. I just had a couple of precepts I wanted to link, but then, I ended up reading the rest of that. So like I said, call halal Yahweh Hashem Yahushai Hashem Rakar Salaki. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and salutation to the hopefully elect. All right. And with that, I'll say shalom.